Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Tuesday, June 11th, 2024. Stanley Cup Final, MLB, WNBA, soccer, AHL, NCAA baseball, news and notes, and best bet. So, smaller show today. And we were going to do NHL biggest regrets of the decade, but we'll hold that off until tomorrow. Stanley Cup Final, game number 2 in the books. The Florida Panthers do it again, this time with a 4-1 win over the Edmonton Oilers to take a 2-0 series lead. Sergei Bobrovsky wasn't busy. 18 saves on 19 shots. He was number 3 star of the game. Number 2 star gave him 2 assists. Antoine Lundell, number 1 star, gave him 2 goals. Evan Rodriguez. And Edmonton actually got on the board first in the first period, almost midway through. Matthias Ekholm scored on assists by Evan Bouchard and Connor McDavid, 1-0 Edmonton. Second period, with his second goal of the playoffs, Nico Mikola, assists by Antoine Lundell and Vlad Tarasenko, 1-1. Rodriguez scored the next 2 in the third period, unassisted, and then on a power play from Lundell and Oliver Ekman-Larsson to make it 3-1. And Aaron Ekblad to the empty net, assist by Sam Bennett. And Aaron Ekblad is playing injured, so that's my only concern for the Panthers, even though they're up 2-0. Stuart Skinner, 25 saves on 28 shots, so he wasn't terrible. So game 3 from Edmonton is Thursday. We will see how that will play out. Next is baseball. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to a busier day today. O's over the Rays 5-2, Twins over the Rockies 5-0, so best bet loss. Brewers over the Blue Jays 3-1, Mariners over the White Sox 8-4, Yankees over the Royals 4-2, Padres over the A's 6-1, Giants over the Astros 4-3-10 on a walk-off single by Austin Slater. All right, all-night game tonight, 6:30, Braves-O's. Good game. Not as fun as it would have been with Strider and Acuna, but it is what it is. Max Fried and Albert Suarez. Why do I feel like this is either going to be a pick-em or the Braves are going to be like a slight favorite? Because Albert Suarez was a dog last time, too. And he's pretty good. An early overreaction to him might be he might be the Luis Heel of the O's. He's pretty good. Just trying to wait for these lines to load. Here we go. The Braves are favored, -136. The Braves the O's are +116 over under 8. Overs -4, and those -118. Braves -1.5, +126. O's +1.5, -152. I'm taking the O's as a dog, +116. Albert Suarez is the real deal, I think. Nats Tigers is next. Mitchell Parker, Kenta Maeda. Tigers -112. Nats -104 over under 8. Overs -8. Unders -112. Nats -1.5, +152. Tigers +1.5, -184. Tigers favor on the money line. Nats favor on the run line, but I'm taking the over. 650 Cubs Rays. Jamison Tyon and Zach Eflin. Rays -142, Cubs +120, over under 7.5, overs -115, unders -105. Cubs +1.5 is -176, Rays -1.5, +146. I'm taking the Cubs +120. I think the Cubs are due. They need the game bad, and they are trying to get back to 500. Guardians Rays at 7. Tristan McKenzie and Brent Suter. Guardians -124, Reds +106, over under 9, overs -118, unders -104. Guardians -1.5, +126, Reds +1.5 is -152. I think that number is a little high. I like the under. Marlins Mets from City. Jesus Luzardo, Tyler McGill. Mets -142, Marlins +120, over under 7.5, -10 each way. Marlins +1.5 is -176. Mets -1.5 less +146. I like the Marlins +120 only because I think that the Mets are going to have a letdown after the London series. Phillies Red Sox on TBS, 7 o'clock. Zach Wheeler and Cutter Crawford. Phillies minus 172, Red Sox plus 144, over under 8, overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Phillies minus 1.5 is minus 108, Red Sox plus 1.5 is minus 111. I'm taking Boston here, plus 144 outright, only for the same reason as I pick against the Mets. Letdown after London, travel. I could see like a little bit of a hangover here, so I like Boston at plus 144. All due respect to Philadelphia, probably best team in baseball, but I think they lose tonight because of travel hangover from London. So it's a good spot to take the Red Sox, so they could get over 500. Rockies Twins at 7:30. Cal Quantrill and Louis Varland. Twins minus 196. Rockies plus 164, over under 8.5. Overs minus 105. Unders minus 115. Rockies plus 1.5 is minus 130. Twins minus 1.5 plus 108. I'm going to take the Rockies here plus 164. I like a lot of underdogs today. Louis Varland's been terrible. Cal Quantrill hasn't been bad on the Rockies. Has 5 wins. ERA under 4. So it's not terrible for a Rocky starter. Pirates Cardinals at 45. Paul Skeens and Miles Mikolas. Pittsburgh's favorite minus 130. The Cards plus 110, over under 7.5. Overs minus 8. Unders minus 112. Pittsburgh minus 1.5 is plus 132. Cards plus 1.5 is minus 160. I'm going to go with the over because I don't like Miles Mikolas this year. To me, he really hasn't been good. 8 o'clock, Yankees Royals. Marcus Stroman and Brady Singer. Yankees minus 138, Royals plus 118, over under 9.5, overs even money, unders minus 122. Yankees minus 1.5 is plus 114, Royals plus 1.5 is minus 137. The under is way juiced, but I don't understand why the under or the total is 9.5. So instead, I don't feel good about this only because I think there's a chance both Judge and Soto are in the lineup. Usually good things happen when those boys are in the lineup. But I'm going to go under 4.5 Yankee runs at plus 108 only because I think Brady Singer's been really good. This is a bet on Brady Singer. If the full game goes to 9, I'd still bet that under. And it's going to be a consideration for best bet if it goes down. Next is Brewers hosting the Blue Jays. Yusei Kikuchi and Carlos Rodriguez making his debut. Jays minus 118. Brewers even money, over under 8.5. Minus 1 tiny each fight. Jays minus 1.5 is plus 132. Brewers plus 1.5 is minus 160. I'm taking the Blue Jays minus 118. 9:30 Angels D-backs. Jose Suarez and Jordan Montgomery. D-backs minus 180. Angels plus 152, over under 9, overs minus 106, unders minus 114. Angels plus 1.5 is minus 40, D-backs minus 1.5 plus 116. I like the over in that game. I almost said the under, but both these guys have stunk this year, so I like the over. White Sox Mariners. Drew Thorpe making his debut against Brian Wu. Mariners minus 225, White Sox plus 188, over under 7, overs minus 107, or minus 105, unders minus 115. Sox plus 1.5 is minus 118, Mariners minus 1.5, minus 102. Brian Wu's been outstanding this year. I'm going to like the 1.5 of the Mariners, actually. I like Drew Thorpe. He was a good Yankee prospect that they got in the Dylan Cease deal, who the Padres got in the Juan Soto deal. But Wu's just been outstanding. Ace Padres, JP Sears, Randy Vasquez. So, ex-Yankees battling it out in this one. That's funny. And then Drew Thorpe in the other game. Padres minus 152, A's plus 128, over under 8. Overs minus 115, unders minus 105. A's plus 1.5 is minus 160, Padres minus 1.5 is plus 132. I think the under has some value here. I think Randy Vasquez is better than what he's shown. So I like the under. 9:45, Astros, Giants, Ronel Blanco and Jordan Hicks. Pick a minus 180 each way, over under 8. Overs minus 105, unders minus 115. Astros minus 1.5 is plus 158, or plus 152. Giants plus 1.5 is minus 184. I'm going to go with the Astros on the money line, minus 108. Ronel Blanco has just been money this whole year. It's just hard to go against him. And 10 o'clock, Rangers-Dodgers. I want to say World Series preview, but the Rangers aren't very good. Dane Dunning and James Paxton. We don't have the run line or the money line out. The Dodgers are minus 116, the Rangers are plus 136. I'm willing to take the Rangers plus 136 only because these two pitchers have been even outside of win-loss record, and I like Dane Dunning. So I'm going to take the Rangers plus 136 for the upset at the Dodgers. Now move on to the WNBA. We have a result from yesterday, and we will look ahead to tonight's games. Commissioner's Cup Sun over the Fever 89-72. They blow them out. So Vegas knew what they were doing by making them a 12-point favorite. Caitlin Clark only had 10 points. The Sun are just outstanding. Their long loss came against the Liberty. 10-1. It's going to be them and the Liberty in the Commissioner's Cup title games because the Aces already have 4 losses. The Liberty have 3, I think. But I know the Liberty clinched a spot in the championship game for the Commissioner's Cup. So that's why I think it's going to be the Liberty and the Sun. More Commissioner's Cup games on 7:30 MNMC. Mystic Dream. The Dream are probably, I'd say, like 7 or 8 point favorites. Yep, 7. Total 157. I'm going to take the over. I think 7's the right number here. 10 o'clock NBA TV. Lynx Aces. The Aces are already big favorites. Actually, no. Not that big of a favorite. Minus 6.5. Total 165.5. I'll take the Lynx to cover. I just don't like how the Aces have looked lately. And then Sparks Storm. The Storm are giving a whopping 11. Total 158.5. I think that's high. But in the Fever game yesterday against the Sun, there's a reason that number's that big. So I'm going to go with the over instead. So again, the WNBA picks. Over 157 in Mystic Stream. The Lynx getting 6.5 at the Aces. And the over in Sparks Storm. All minus 110. Except the Lynx is minus 112. Ooh, the Sparks Storm line locked just now. Wonder what happened there. Now move on to soccer. We'll go over the results of note from yesterday and look ahead to everything going on today. We'll start with the friendlies. Czechia over North Macedonia 2-1. Netherlands over Iceland 4-0. Poland over Turkey 2-1. We have a final from this morning. Mongolia over Cambodia 2-1. And then 8:15, Brunei and Sri Lanka coming up at 10 o'clock. Azerbaijan and Kazakhstan. Just try to pull that up. Is soccer, they have it organized all weird. I just want all the live games. Azerbaijan plus 130, Kazakhstan plus 230. The draw is 2-1. I like the draw at 2-1. At noon, you have Belarus and Israel. I don't know why I can't find this game. There's a lot of games at noon. But anyway, I think that's going to be either a draw or Israel. Also at noon, Malta and Greece. Greece minus 430, Malta 10-1, the draws plus 420. Under 2.5 goals, minus 108. Moldova and Ukraine. Ukraine minus 60, Moldova plus 650, draw plus 320. I'm going to do under 2.5 goals, minus 112. San Marino and Cyprus. San Marino, 13-1. Cyprus is minus 470. The draw is plus 420. Under 2.5 goals, minus 110. 245. Northern Ireland and Andorra. Northern Ireland's minus 500. Andorra is 13-1 dog. Draw plus 430. We're going to do over 2.5 goals at plus 102. 8 o'clock, Chile and Paraguay. Chile minus 135. Paraguay plus 350. Draw plus 230. I'm going to do over 2.5 goals at plus 122. Now we're going to do the AFC qualifying. So, we have early results. Japan over Syria 5-0. South Korea over China 1-0. Going on right now. Austria over Palestine 4-0. Thailand over Singapore 1-0. Indonesia over the Philippines 1-0. Taipei over Malaysia 1-0. All right, 9 a.m. North Korea and Myanmar. Minus 5,000 is North Korea. Myanmar's 28-1. The draw is 15-1. I'm going to go over. Actually, I'm going to lay the 3.5 with North Korea. 11 a.m. you have Turkmenistan and Hong Kong. Turkmenistan minus 120. Hong Kong's plus 290. The draw's plus 270. We're going to do under 2.5 goals here, minus 106. Tajikistan and Pakistan. Tajikistan is 60-1 favorites. Pakistan is 60-1 dog. The draw is 17-1. We're going over 4.5 goals plus 118. 11:45 Qatar, India. Qatar minus 170. India is plus 460. The draw is 3-1. We're going to go over 2.5 goals at minus 114. Kuwait and Afghanistan. Kuwait minus 370. Afghanistan is 10-1. The draw is plus 440. We're going to go under 2.5 goals at plus 101. At noon, you have Oman and Kyrgyz Republic. Oman minus 50. Kyrgyzstan is plus 490. The draw is plus 240. Over 2.5 goals plus 137. Lebanon and Bangladesh. Lebanon's minus 430. Bangladesh is 15-1. The draw is plus 430. Or plus 420, my bad. Over 2.5 goals plus 139. 1 o'clock, Iran and Uzbekistan. Iran minus 270. Vietnam's plus 650. Draw plus 390. Under 2.5 goals at plus 107. UAE and Bahrain. UAE plus 110. Bahrain plus 250. Draw plus 220. We're going to go with UAE plus 110. At 2 o'clock, you have Iraq and Vietnam. Oh, wait a second. I read the wrong line. Iran minus 165. Uzbekistan is plus 550. Draw plus 240. This one's going to be over 2.5 goals plus 128. In Iraq, Vietnam, I gave out the wrong line, and I went with the under plus 107, under 2.5. Saudi Arabia and Jordan. Saudi Arabia minus 150. Jordan is plus 440. The draw is plus 260. Over 2.5 goals at minus 102. And then Yemen and Nepal. Yemen minus 340. Nepal 8-1. The draw's plus 430. We're going over 2.5 goals at minus 110. And today we'll conclude the second round of AFC qualifying for World Cup. All right, World Cup qualifying CONCACAF. It resumes today, 3 o'clock. St. Lucia and Aruba. St. Lucia plus 110, Aruba plus 230, draw plus 250. I kind of like Aruba for the upset, plus 230. 330, Cuba and Cayman Islands. Cuba 18-1 favorites, Cayman Islands 35-1, the draw's 11-1. We're going to go over minus 110. 4 o'clock, St. Kitts and Nevis in Bahamas. St. Kitts minus 600, Bahamas 12-1, the draw is 6-1. Kind of like the draw at 6-1. That's some value. 6 o'clock, Guyana and Belize. Guyana minus 20, Belize is 5-1. The draw is plus 360. We're going to go with the draw here to a plus 360. 8 o'clock, Dominican Republic and Virgin Islands B team. For the British Virgin Islands. Dominican Republic is minus 8,000. British Virgin Islands is 60-1 dog. Draw is 23-1. We're going to go over 4.5 goals at minus 118. And last but not least, Puerto Rico and Anguilla. Puerto Rico is minus 20,000. Anguilla is 60-1 dogs. The draw is 50-1. We don't have all the extras for this game yet. But I'll look into the total. All right. So the CAF qualifying for World Cup. Yesterday's results. Botswana over Somalia 3-1. Ecuador, Guinea over Malawi 1-0. Guinea-Bissau, Egypt 1-1 draw. Benin over Nigeria 2-1. Algeria over Uganda 2-1. Eritrea, Niger canceled. Burkina Faso, Sierra Leone 2-2 draw. Mozambique over Guinea 1-0. And Ghana over Central African Republic 4-3. Going on right now, South Sudan and Sudan. Mauritius and Eswatini. Mauritius up 2-0. Kenya, Ivory Coast, and Madagascar, Mali. Those other 3 games, 0-0 right now. We don't have time to give out picks. So noon, South Africa and Zimbabwe. I think the draw is valuable, plus 290. Lesotho, Rwanda. And what I meant was I didn't have time to break it down. Draw plus 165. Cape Verde and Libya. I think Libya has some value, plus 425. Zambia and Tanzania. Ooh, that's a hard one. Zambia moneyline, and you parlay that with stuff. Chad and Comoros Islands. Over 2.5 goals, plus 140. Angola and Cameroon at 3. Draw plus 165. Congo and Morocco. Morocco is going to be a big favorite. Under 2.5 goals, plus 110. Gabon and Gambia. I would do I'll parlay the money line with Gabon with a couple other things, and then Seychelles and Bernoulli. Draw 10-1. I just think that has some interesting value. And then under 21 international friendly at 10 o'clock. England and Northern Ireland under 21s. Now we'll move on to the AHL Eastern Conference Finals. Game 6. There's some serious drama going on as the Cleveland Monsters do it again. 3-2 in overtime over the Hershey Bears to force a Game 7 on Wednesday night. It was crazy because third period, it's 1-1 with less than a minute to go. Joe Snively scores, assisted by Chase Prisky and Hendrix Lockbeer, give the Bears a 2-1 lead. And that place is going nuts. They thinking they're going back to the final. Not so fast. Brandon Gaunt's is third of the postseason. 17 seconds later, with the extra attacker on, Stanislav Savizel and Trafix Olansky. And that's a 2-2 game. Then we go to overtime. And a lot of time has gone by with about 2.5 minutes left in the first overtime. Jake Christensen scores the overtime winner from Denton Maciejuk and Justin Pearson to give the Monsters the win. 3-3 series, Game 7, Wednesday night back in Hershey. And this Hershey Bears team had a historically great season. And they just blew a 3-0 series lead. But could they salvage it and go back to the final? Or will this be remembered as an all-time collapse? Wednesday night's going to be very interesting in Bears land. So it's going to be very, very interesting. Okay, now move on to baseball. In college, we had our last super regional yesterday as 10 seed NC State beat 7 seed Georgia 8-5 to win that series 2-1 to advance to the Men's College World Series, which will all begin on Friday. We have 2 games Friday, 2 games Saturday, and we'll preview and pick everything on the Friday podcast. So, the Men's College World Series will be getting underway in just a few days. All right, so the news and notes. As I said earlier, we're going to save the hockey stuff for tomorrow. So James Borrego is meeting with the Cavaliers today to discuss head coaching opening. So that's obviously somebody that's coached before. He was a Popovich assistant at San Antonio. He should get a job that's open, you would think. But the biggest story yesterday, Dan Hurley rejects the Lakers as he will return to UConn. The Lakers offered 6 years, $70 million. Dan Hurley said no thanks. And I think Dan Hurley did the right thing. UConn's his home. And they are not where they are today without him. And I think Dan Hurley looked at the situation and was interested. But he realized where home was, and that was with UConn. And with those kids trying to go for a three-peat. And the players are so happy. And the UConn offers 6 years, $50 million. So he's taking less money to stay with UConn, which is crazy. And UConn's social media is trolling the Lakers, of course. And there's a Connecticut restaurant, J. Timothy's Tavern. And Dan Hurley, because he's saying with UConn, free wings for life. So that's pretty cool. Here's some good, promising news. Caitlin Clark and Brianna Jones are Olympics alternates if needed. I mean, you don't want to root for an injury, obviously. But if there's an injury, she's right there in line. It's her and Brianna Jones, who are two very solid alternate choices. Kristaps Porzingis says he'll die out there after his second game back, as many people thought he was hurt again during Game 2. Three people given 8 months in prison for racially abusing Vinicius Jr. So there was a poll in baseball, an anonymous player poll. The player that was voted most overrated, Jazz Chisholm of the Miami Marlins. My vote would go to Gleyber Torres of the New York Yankees because of how highly touted he was, and only for him to become so disappointing. I mean, Jazz Chisholm is a good one too. There's a couple other ones I can think of. I mean, some may say Mitch Keller of the Pirates. If you talk about pitchers, Edwin Diaz in terms of relievers. And Juan Soto actually got a vote for overrated, which that person can go take a hike. I guess they haven't watched the Yankees. It's probably somebody bitter, like from Washington or from San Diego. And speaking of Juan Soto, he came back last night in DH. Aaron Judge had the night off. But Aaron Judge's absence didn't really matter because the Yankees won. You better be back in the lineup tonight, Judge. Aaron Judge says he was impressed with Shohei Ohtani's speed. Obviously, Ohtani's slide into home plate beat Judge's throw. That was a really good slide by Ohtani. That's just not yeah, that's just, yeah. Teoscar Hernandez wants to stay with the Dodgers, says he doesn't want to keep bouncing around. The Lakers have had minimal J.J. Redick contact after their prioritized pursuit of Dan Hurley. Darvin Ham is joining the Bucks as he returns to Milwaukee on Doc Rivers' staff. Retail sales leaders in the NFL, Jalen Hurts and Jason Kelce over Mahomes and Travis Kelce. Huh. I guess it's just all the Philly people, you know? Mike Tomlin got a contract extension from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Good for him. So at least he's not a lame duck going into this season. That just takes a distraction away from the Steelers. LeBron James claps back at doubters. as people are saying that he doesn't want to win anymore. The Oklahoma City Thunder are interested in Isaiah Hartenstein, as the Thunder viewed as the top threat to land Hartenstein, which doesn't surprise me. They have a needed center. Mikal Bridges is recruiting Josh Hart on Instagram, and then Josh Hart wants a wellness check on Mikal Bridges after the comment, which is funny. Connor McDavid had a confident quote as he welcomes doubters after a 2-0 deficit in the final. There was a young shirtless fan at the game last night that they called him Florida Boy. Lights go out during a baseball game as Padre fans brought out their phone flashlights at Petco Park. The Twins have new uniforms as they releases a Ripple Effect City Connect jerseys. Skesko rejects an EPL trio as he signs a new deal amid Arsenal, Chelsea, and Man United interest as he stays with Leipzig. So Tomlin deals until 2027. Jamar Chase at mandatory minicamp as he skipped OTAs in search of a new deal. So that's good that Jamar Chase showed up. And that's it for the news and notes. Last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. We'll see if that Yankee Royal total went down. That is just way too high. But I understand I went against the Royals in a total last week and it didn't work out. It's still at minus 122. So, instead, I am going to just go against the White Sox again and lay the 1.5 with the Mariners at minus 102. Brian Wu's just been outstanding. So, Mariners minus 1.5 and minus 102 for my best bet of the day. So, that's it for the show, and I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything. Look ahead to everything tomorrow as well. Have a great day, guys.